Update QUENSLANDS Police Union says recommendations in the wake of police shootings would cost hundreds of millions of dollars. QPU President Ian Levers said it was unfortunate police were now left to clean up health system failures. Every other government department in Queensland, if they fail, it becomes the responsibility of police, Mr. Levers said outside court. I estimate, just on rough figures, with training and mental health coordinators we'd need an injection of another 200 police across the state of Queensland. It is going to be a bureaucratic nightmare for police, but at the end of the day someone has to do the job and it's been left to the police department. Coroner Terry Ryan delivered his findings today from an inquest into the police shooting deaths of Anthony William Young at Coolum and Edward Wayne Logan at Tewantin. The inquest also looked at other fatal shootings in Southport and in Brisbane. Sean Basil Kumaroa, Lavelle Donovan Zimmer and Troy Martin Foster were killed in the same week as Mr. Young and Mr. Logan. Mr. Levers said the coroner clearly indicated mental health was now police core business. One recommendation was for full-time dedicated mental health intervention coordinators to be established in each region. It will be difficult to implement some of these psychological services. In some areas these services are not available, the police union president said. But Mr. Levers said it was important to review training technology and he would hold the police service to account and wanted the union to be involved in the training. The coroner also recommended QPS examine the way it dealt with nuisance calls, and help get call takers better training and technology. The coroner said Mr. Zimmer's 21 calls made to police were not all dealt with in a professional manner. The coroner said it was important people making inappropriate calls but who faced emotional or other difficulties should be better dealt with. Who they were: Troy Martin Foster, age 32. Police shot him in a Southport after he held a knife to his mother's throat on November 24, 2014. He had mental health issues and had consumed drugs and alcohol. His mother alleged the problem with police began when Mr. Foster was 11, after an alleged police assault at Tweed Heads. Sean Basil Kumaroa, age 42, was killed after a 4-hour siege at Inala. He had allegedly been avoiding police for several days after assaulting his former partner, with whom he had a custody dispute. Mr. Kumaroa brandished a replica gun at police, which they believed to be real. Sean Basil Kumaroa, age 42, was killed after a 4-hour siege at Inala. He had allegedly been avoiding police for several days after assaulting his former partner, with whom he had a custody dispute. Mr. Kumaroa brandished a replica gun at police, which they believed to be real. Edward Wayne Logan, age 51. He was visiting his son Thomas Logan at Outlook Drive, Tewantin. A fight with his son escalated into a domestic dispute and the father smashed up cars, windows and garage doors. He was killed when lunging at police with a splayed metal letterbox. Anthony William Young, age 42, lived with his older brother, his brother's partner and their 12-year-old daughter. Mr. Young brandished a machete at police when they attended his home at Yandina Coolum Drive, after several reports of a disturbance at his home on August 21, 2013. He was told to drop the knife 3 times before he was shot. Police found 2 bodies inside the home and concluded Young had murdered his brother and partner. Before his death, Lavelle Donovan Zimmer, age 33. He grew up in Mackay, Kingaroy and Brisbane and had a history of paranoid schizophrenia. He was killed after running at police with a knife at his home in Redcliffe. Cops went to his home after he made what were deemed nuisance calls to in Police Link at Redcliffe and Maroochydore, which became increasingly aggressive. Mr. Levers said the coroner clearly indicated mental health was now police core business. Trevor Veal, earlier a coroner, has cleared police of wrongdoing after 5 men died in a spate of fatal shootings. Coroner Terry Ryan made several recommendations on Friday but said cops had already made changes since the aberration of November 2014. Mr. Ryan delivered his findings from an inquest into the police shooting deaths of Anthony William Young at Coolum and Edward Wayne Logan at Tewantin. Those inquest hearings were held in Maroochydore in November 2015. But other fatal shootings in Southport and in Brisbane were also examined. Sean Basil Kumaroa, Lavelle Donovan Zimmer and Troy Martin Foster were killed in the same week as Mr. Young. Mr. Logan died in 2013. The coroner said mental illness was a factor in all shootings. He urged police to treat mental health as core business. Mr. Ryan commended the ongoing rollout of body-worn cameras, and said all frontline officers should have the technology. The coroner said lawmakers should consider regulating replica firearms. He also urged police to review incident command training and revise first aid training. And he urged police to review methods for reporting the use of force. He also recommended police conduct a review into how firearms are used. And he said police should explore how weapons were used in low-light situations. Mental health advocate Nick Collier welcomed the coroner's findings. It's very important that police have more specialized training in mental health. Outside Brisbane Coroner's Court, he said police had already changed some mental health policies and procedures, but could do more.